Hours, police arrested 3 people for retail theft in Brown County. Nationally, stores lost an estimated $86 billion to this crime, and the National Retail Federation predicts that number will rise by additional $14 billion by the end of this year. Emily Riley explains what's causing this problem to grow in our area.
Ashwaubenon Public Safety says the increase in thefts is heavily tied to an increase in drug use in our area.
People are looking for that quick, instant financial gain, which impacts everyone in our community negatively.
Captain Brian Amundson from Ashwaubenon Public Safety says organized retail theft, groups of people traveling from city to city, stealing many items at a time from stores, is also a growing problem on their radar. State legislation has increased the penalties.
A felony is now $500 or more. So as anybody knows, going into a store doesn't take very long to get over that $500 threshold.
Big name retailers and small mom and pop business owners are often aware of this growing issue and have different strategies to prevent becoming a victim.
There's a couple of us working here, so if we have kind of a sense of something, we'll walk around and make sure, everything's okay.
Right next door, Abelite Thrift Shop says they use walkie-talkies and also have 24-hour surveillance. Captain Amundson encourages business owners to regularly communicate with staff and remain as vigilant as possible. In Brown County, Emily Riley, Action 2 News.